Good morning and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. Right, what I would like you to do today, you could have a bit of a shape hunt around your house a bit later on to see if you can find any shapes to draw around, but if not, I've got an alternative for you. So our starter today is just a recap of Roman numerals. Now, we have looked at Roman numerals, well, you have done them in year 3 to 12, numbers 1 through to 12, but then in year 4, you're supposed to learn them up to 100, but we haven't had the chance yet to recap them. So I want you to think about our Roman numerals. So 1 looks like an I, 2, 3, okay, then to make 4, we have to take the symbol for 5 and you put the symbol for 1 in front of it. So it's IV. So it's 5 take away 1, which is 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9 is 1 take away 10, and then you've got 10. Okay, that's all you need to know for today. We do move on though to 11 and 12. All right, so those are your Roman numerals to 12. And what you need to do today for your starter activity, if I just quickly share my screen, and then I'll just show you, you've got a little match-up activity of numbers 1 to 10. You just draw a line from the Roman numeral to the number as you would recognize it. You don't have to do that. In your book, you could just write I equals 1. I equals 2. That will save on printing out. You can just do that in your home learning book. All right, so that's the starter. When you get back to me, once you've paused it and you switch it back on, we will carry on with today's lesson, which is all about symmetry. So I'm going to go back and share my screen, and I'm going to bring this one back up. And I'm going to go back over here. You can see it says geography again at the top, and I don't know why, but that's how it is doing it today. So we're going to be looking at symmetry, symmetrical things. So the aim of today's lesson is that you can draw lines of symmetry on 2D shapes, a range of 2D shapes, so more than just one. You can find reflective symmetry by folding shapes. You can draw these lines of symmetry, and you can recognize other shapes by drawing on lines of symmetry. So there is an activity in your book that is in color, but it looks in the folder in color that looks like this. And this is the one that you will use to fold shapes with. All right, now, if I just come back off camera, because I'm not sure if you can or not. So it's this one, and it says cut and fold shapes. So the idea is that, is that you cut out the shape very carefully, and only with scissors if you've got an adult present, because you shouldn't be using sharp scissors, okay, without someone there. I don't want a nasty accident. So I've cut out my equilateral triangle, and I will keep hold of that for now. I'm just going back to my screen share. So you can see that symmetry, I say you can see some shapes on my screen, and it says true or false symmetry. Now, for an object to have a line of symmetry, you've got to imagine that you are putting the line, first of all, down the middle of the shape. It has got to go down the middle of the shape. It can go vertically, it can go horizontally, it can go diagonally, but it has got to go through the middle of the shape. Now, in order for it to be symmetrical, it's got to look the same on both sides. Okay, reflective symmetry is like when you look in a mirror. So if you're looking at your reflection. So when you're looking at your line of symmetry, you've got to think, is it reflective? Now you can use a mirror to do that and put it. So if I had my line up, my trapezium here, just like you can see on my screen, just like that, nice big one, and it has got the line through the middle first of all, I could put my mirror like that on the line. Now I know you can't see that, but if I looked in the side like that, I can look then back at the diagram and see if it's symmetrical. Okay, I can see if what I'm looking at in the reflection of the mirror on the shape is the same as what I can see on the picture. All right, when I take it away. So if we're doing a line of symmetry, it's got to go through the middle. So we can see that we have got a line of symmetry here, got a diagonal one here. This is wrong. Why is it wrong? That's right, the line is not going through the middle. If the line went from this corner through the middle, that would be a line of symmetry. But this part, this side of the pentagon, doesn't look the same as this side. Doesn't look, if I folded it, it wouldn't fold right, would it? Same here. If you look at my equilateral triangle, if I folded it like that, I'm folding it through the middle. Can you see? I'm folding it through the middle. Let me come off share. I'm folding it through the middle, but this bit here doesn't look like this bit here. So whilst it's through the middle, it's not a line of symmetry. You need to go from a point. Okay, so if I was to fold my equilateral triangle from one of its corners, from its point, and then opened it up, you can see that that looks the same. If I folded it from this point through the middle, you can see that when I open it out, it looks the same. And again, on the last point, if I fold it in half from the corner, from the vertex, from the triangle, I can see that it looks the same. If I was to draw on those lines of symmetry, obviously using a ruler, but I haven't got it to hand, you can see that my equilateral triangle has got 3 lines of symmetry. 1, 2, 3. Now, any regular shape, and that means a hexagon, a square, a pentagon, an octagon, heptagon, that has a regular shape, so it has the same sides, same size angles, will have as many lines of symmetry as it has sides. So a regular hexagon, not that I'm very good at drawing freehand, but if I was to draw a regular hexagon, so I know it's not quite right, but if it got all 6 sides the same and all 6 angles the same, it would have 1, 2, 3 lines of symmetry, 4, 5, 6, because I could fold it and it will all look the same. So you've got this one here that you can cut up and have a play around with, folding the shapes and seeing if you can find the lines of symmetry. I'm not going to do that with you. That's your investigation. That's something for you to do. All right, so I'm going to go back to the screen share. So when we're talking about lines of symmetry, it goes through the middle of the shape and both sides have to look the same. Now, so you can see reflection symmetry is where one half of the image is the reflection of the other half. So you can fold it in half and see if both halves match exactly, just like the triangle. They match when it's folded. All right. Same again. Sometimes there's two lines. So these shapes all have two lines, one horizontal and one vertical. Sometimes they have three or more. All right, so you can see that these shapes have got more lines of symmetry. So you're going to investigate now using that folding sheet to see if you can find it. And when you come back, I'm just going to talk through a little bit more. Okay. Right, welcome back. So your work for today. Now, if you are in circles for maths, you need to do the activity that looks like this. Okay, it's got one star in the corner, and the activity says to you, find and draw the lines of symmetry on these 2D shapes. Use a ruler and a mirror to help. So you could use the mirror like I showed you before. So you need to put the mirror in the middle and see, does it look the same? If I put it that way, does the top half look the same as the bottom? You probably see better on that one. So if I folded that in half, would those sides match completely? So you need to draw the line of symmetry on using a ruler, and you could use a mirror to help you. All right, so that's that activity. If you are in squares or pentagons, I think I put down that you can do either this sheet, which is the same concept, it's got the two stars on it, it's just got some trickier shapes on it. And then this one, which has got the same shapes, but it's also got somewhere it's asking you to complete the drawing. Okay, so it's asking you to complete these ones here by drawing the others. Now, if you haven't got access to a printer and or you don't want to print it off, the last group that I haven't mentioned, your task is to be drawing, just like I did here, some 2D shapes and showing the lines of symmetry on them. Now you need to use a ruler. I don't have one to hand, otherwise I would model using it. Now I want you to try and be accurate. So if you're drawing a square, that square has 4 equal sides, and then you draw on the lines of symmetry. I'm only drawing in pen because I want you to be able to see it. If I was drawing in my maths book, I would be using the squares to help me, and I would also be using a ruler and a pencil, just in case I made a mistake. So I would like you to then draw on the lines of symmetry using a ruler onto your shape. Okay, that should cross in the middle like this really, but because I haven't measured it out, it's not accurate. I have listed on the home learning document the shapes that I want you to draw. Again, if you're struggling to print things off or you wanted to have a go yourself, I have listed shapes for each group for you to draw depending on which group you're in. You just need to refer back to that. So once you finish, if you go back to the home learning document, this one here that I was sharing with you before, from this page, there is a symmetry quiz that you could do. You could perhaps write the answers down and then your parents could check it when they're free, or you could do it on, if you had it open on PowerPoint, you could do it yourself and tap on the answer and you would see if you were right or not. There is an Oak Academy video for today and tomorrow as well if you want to watch those. And there are also some games on Education City to help you with your understanding and that you could play after having done them. All right, so have fun with the symmetry, try your best, and if you're drawing your shapes, I can't wait to see what you've done. All right, see you another day. Bye-bye.